And there's just some exciting things happening. We're tweaking out some of our program. I want to just make sure that we're providing more information on where our entire curriculum or course is headed. But the number one premise of getting sales professionals to the financial levels and the scalability they want to all starts with mind. So I think most of you have joined our Elite Sales Group Facebook private group. That would be great because I'm posting out a lot of content. We're starting to do podcasts with other entrepreneurs. We're doing podcasts with other synergistic companies like a company called Content Bacon that deals more with telling the story of businesses and companies and people. We're going to be partnering with a lead generation company. So we're very excited. And when I say partnering, I mean, we're going to have them as guests. And, there's no affiliation other than trying to bring the best of breed to everyone. But I think if you spoke with every one of these entrepreneurs, they'd all tell you that it's all mindset. It takes time to learn these different technologies, and you got to be committed to, and don't be scared. Once you have the technology down and you're working at it, and you just need to learn a little bit at a time, you'll be amazed at the efficiency and the leveraging of your time that learning these technologies will help you. But again, it starts off going with mindset, and then as Tim Grover says, from the neck up, and from there, everything else will take care of itself. So waiting on a couple other people. Again, last time people started a little late. We've had I've been doing some more research in the intrinsic motivation of people. And based on, we've evaluated over 1.8 million sales professionals, either leaders or salespeople. And interesting enough, with a large group and the groups that we've done in the several thousands, a lot of sales professionals are more intrinsically motivated. And it's a lot less than it's a lot higher than I was expecting. I was expecting more people to be extrinsically motivated, meaning, they just want to win. They want the money. They're motivated by exterior items as opposed to interior. And the intrinsic motivation is a key factor that helps people developing. Sometimes it's just about the competition. They want recognition. They want to feel that they're doing a great job. They do want to win, but you got to understand how to motivate them. We have a client recently that has about 10 salespeople from our corporate division, and we had to go through every one of their individual evaluations, and predominantly all of them were intrinsically motivated. So we are now designing some incentive programs that are built around recognition and to be able to motivate their sales team to continue on the behaviors he's looking for, whether it's putting in the correct data in the CRM, whether it's a certain amount of presentations or demos or in-person meetings. Obviously, they can't hit under the bar, but once they hit above the bar, we want to be able to put things in place that incentivize them, but also give them recognition in front of their peers. So that's one of the key pieces that we've been working on and looking at from a motivation standpoint, which also starts with your mind. Some more research we've been doing is the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. So that would be something great for all of you to look up and study the difference. I would study intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. And I would also study the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. And fixed mindset that's not where you want to be, not if you're in sales and you have the ability to hit the skies. The growth mindset are people that see past and they believe they can continue growing. The fixed mindset levels off. So they don't continue learning. They don't continue growing. They believe their circumstance is their circumstance. So if that's where you want to take your profession, that's fine. But then you probably shouldn't be on this webinar, and we're probably not the right fit. We're looking for people that we could really make a difference and grow, and have our profession looked upon as a one of the premier professions that there are, equivalent to doctors and attorneys. Doctors fix medical problems, attorneys fix legal problems, and sales professional fix business problems. So keep that in mind. You are the benefit of what we do is for the benefit of our clients, and the benefit of our clients is the benefit to their customers and their clients. So we're going to keep that in mind. I think a few people are going to be joining a little bit later. So like last time, we had 3 or 4 more people join. So I know I have some people from before I want to get going and not take up as much as their time. So we've changed this up a little bit about mindset, and it comes down to the experiences. And I want to get a little bit deeper. And for those of you who've been on here another time, you're going to see some changes in both on our program offerings and on a little bit more deeper understanding of what we have to offer. But also, I want to talk about how I'm seeing this play out today with our current clients in the corporate world. And this is one of the reasons we opened up a personal division, so we can affect more salespeople, but we're affecting them one at a time, as opposed to making sure their sales leader wants them to grow and do better than them, or maybe their sales leader doesn't want them to grow and do better or outperform them financially. Great article I read recently was, why would a CEO care if his salesperson is earning more than him? I mean, that's the job. So it's to do return on investment for shareholders. So if you have a great salesperson and it's fitting within your budget, you should never hesitate to worry about how much they make. You want to keep them growing. So I'm going to get started in lieu of time for people that are here on time, and we'll just get everyone else caught up. So, all right, great. So 3 things you're going to learn. Since childhood, what are the experiences that developed our belief systems that limit our sales growth? How to abolish these. We're going to talk to you a little bit and try to how to fix these immediately to make a difference tomorrow. And then let's continue with some Q&A. And then you're going to see a special offer that we have that you'll be able to take advantage of, and we'll take it from there. So I think that, it's super simple. If you go into participants, where you see the word participants, you could ask a question to anyone there that's on there. You could ask a question directly to me as the host. We save them, then we answer everyone's questions. You can also go there and raise your hand if you have a question. It'll flash a light on for me, and then I'll be able to either stop or ask that we'll address it at the end. All questions will be answered at the end. Any scenarios that you want to discuss will be answered at the end. So this is for you, and I think you're going to like what we have and how we've changed up some of our offering. We'll go from there. Okay, so now, why should you stay at the end? One, again, we're going to define these things that have stopped us. You're going to learn how to grow and grow your income. We're going to go toe-to-toe with me at the end. Test me, role play with me. Let me show you or tell me things that happen in your lives that I can show you how it relates to one of the limiting beliefs. We're going to send you out to self-limiting beliefs. We're going to send you out to 21 core competencies of the elite. We even have a program that takes you through each one of those core competencies, whether it's setting goals, whether it's controlling emotions. It's all the items that fit in that we've uncovered with all the 1.8 million data points that we have, that we've narrowed it down to 21 key items. There may be a few more, but these are the key 21 key items for the elite sales professionals. And we have a special offer for the end. So again, this all starts off with it's the way we believe things, the way we've grown up, the different things in our lives have kind of put some set in stone belief systems. And if we do not recognize them, if we're not self-aware, it can be destructive. In sales, it could be financially destructive. So, one example is if you grew up in a family where, I'm Latin, and we grew up in a family where sometimes you have to try to overtalk someone or jump in real fast to talk to someone because you're trying to get your point across. That affects you later in sales because you want to get your point to come across so strong that instead of slowing down and listening to the client, you'll have a tendency to start thinking what you're going to say next before the client has a chance to finish talking. And if you start talking to yourself while the client or the prospective client is talking to you, you're not going to be able to listen to them, and you may miss a key element that makes the difference on whether you can or cannot help them fix their challenges and help them be able to invest in your products and services. So we had gone over to Johari window. This is something that we teach. This is all about the principle of constantly striving to develop self-awareness. Again, give credit to the creators of the Johari window, which is Joseph Luft and Harrington Ingham. I hope I said that correct. And if you Google it, you'll see, and I'm going to show you a graphic of it right now. So the Johari window, what is that? The Johari window is, again, it's all about self-awareness. So in the left-hand quadrant where you see open area, that's open. That means you know how you're behaving or how you're acting, either as a leader or sales professional, and everybody else also knows it. So you know it and everyone else knows it, okay? Then there's the blind spot, right? The blind spot is other people see you in a manner or see you in a particular personality or behavior attributes, yet it's not known to you, right? Other people see that. So you're like, I'm not like that. But then in the end, you don't realize how much it's coming across from the external and what people do see. And then there is the hidden things that people don't know about you. They don't really understand about you, and it's not known to others. Sometimes being a leader and a boss is very difficult, but that boss may have an extremely good and strong heart for people, but making difficult decisions is never easy. So what may look like as a challenging, difficult boss to people from the outside, the boss internally may be doing everything they can to be able to help their people grow, to succeed, and to seize opportunities within the company. And then here's the most dangerous spot is the things we don't know about ourselves and the things that people don't see about us. So that is the unknown for all of us. And that's almost where the unknown medically, whether you get a blood test and an MRI, x-rays, the MRI is probably the most critical one, but that'll start telling you what's unknown to the doctor and what's unknown to you. Those are key areas. If you have an opportunity to get assessed from a sales perspective, it's key. And we happen to have a sales specific one. We believe, again, with 1.8 million and more and growing, we're pretty confident that ours will deliver at least over a 90% accuracy rate. So that's important. That's what we're going to talk about today, is self-awareness. So emotional quotient, super simple. It's EQ. It's self-awareness. It's otherwise known as EQ. Emotional quotient stands for emotional quotient, EQ, and it's not IQ, which is intelligent quotient. A person may possess, they may be super, super smart and have a high IQ, but without a lack of a well-developed EQ, he or she will be held back from sales greatness because they're not self-aware of what's preventing them from asking another question. They're not aware of that they like to shop on price, so therefore it's okay for their clients to shop on price. So a lot of the emotional quotient goes into factor with salespeople, and a lot of it comes from our upbringing, our surroundings, people telling us what we can, what we can't do, and that's a key element of what we're going to talk about. And then we're going to show you all the curriculum that comes along with it. So some of the challenges that these pose. So again, one of the challenges we have as performance coaches, as sales performance coaches, there's certain things that it's whether for yourself, within the company, as a sales leader, there are things that we cannot teach you or help you develop. You have to have them and you have to want them. Okay, so we won't work with anyone that doesn't have strong desires and commitment. If you don't have desires that you can visually see that you really, really want, and then you're not backing it up with a commitment to do what it takes ethically and professionally to reach and succeed at those desires, I can't teach you that. I can't teach you to do things when a coach isn't around. That's where greatness happens, is when you're doing what you're supposed to when no one's watching. We can't help you develop a strong emotional quotient, right? If you have a fixed mindset, you're going to need to have a growth mindset, and it's going to have to change relatively quickly. Okay, you're going to have belief systems that you're going to want to have to change. I can't make you change. Okay, anybody, I have a great saying: a person changed against their will is of the same opinion still. A person changed against their will is of the same opinion still. So I hate when I hear salespeople, well, I'm trying to convince this client. You should never be convincing them. You convince them, they're going to regret it. You're going to regret it. They need to see the value of what they're getting from you. They need to make an educated decision together. And if they don't see the value, if they don't see the action move forward, then either they're not your client or you didn't provide enough value. What we can teach to make great sales professionals is selling skills. We can teach you how to do a positioning statement, which is also called an elevator pitch. Within 10 seconds, to define exactly who your target is, what kind of emotional stress that the common problems they're having is putting on them, and we can have you be able to develop that and state that in 10 seconds. Product knowledge. That's the easiest one. A lot of companies want to hire people, and all they want to do is give them product knowledge, and they feel the more they know about the product, the easier it will be for them to sell. Well, some of the challenges with that is statistically, there was some research. I don't know where it came from, but I remember it stating that, and I'm only relating this because of the story, that a person in the profession of selling cars, in their first 3 months, makes the most commission or most profit per car sold than they do any time after that. And what was found in the research was because after 3 months, they started figuring out that when a person was walking away, the sales manager would come out and start making a deal, cutting a deal. So if a car started off at 15,000, a new salesperson would start there and feel like that's what they have to sell at that value and that price. They start getting accustomed to discounting. Okay, so that's where it becomes a problem, right? So product knowledge doesn't always help you, but you're going to have, and the great ones have it, but it shouldn't be the first starting point. We start with selling skills, to be able to ask questions, consultative selling. I can understand, and we can develop questions around what you solve. And once I have someone that we understand that has those challenges and is willing to talk to someone in an effort to make those problems go away, we can easily bring in an expert to help us and close the deal. Sales technology enablement. Well, some people come with it and some people don't. There's a lot of technology available today. We're using Zoom.us for the video conferencing. There is multiple CRMs with automatic dialers. There's data resources like Zoom Info and data.com. There are email tracking systems like Yesware and ActiveCampaign. There are so many technologies. It's multi-billion-dollar business today, the sales enablement area, particularly in technology. So your coaches need to teach you that, but you also have to have the desire and the commitment to not only learn the selling skills, the product knowledge, and the sales technology enablement, but you have to be able to be committed to utilize it, practice, fail, and execute. Okay, hidden weaknesses. My favorite phrase, the only opponent is the one when you look in the mirror. That's it. You should not be in sales. You only compete against yourself. That's it. So now we're moving on to self-limiting beliefs, right? So what are the self-limiting beliefs? Okay, the self-limiting beliefs are 86% of sales professionals have limiting beliefs that are sabotaging their outcomes. And I'm going to show you a few in a few minutes. Once you start working on these, and we can start abolishing on them, and I'll show you a few and how to remove them away, you'll be 25% more effective. Okay, so if you're able to be 25% more effective than you are today, would it be worth starting to remove those belief systems that you had that you really shouldn't be having in your system or in your mindset? Okay, so here is from Objective Management Group, which we're a partner with. You have a limiting belief for a salesperson. I prefer to dominate the conversation. That's what I call show up and throw up. This is where a salesperson gets so excited that they got the attention of a prospective buyer or client, where all they do is blast out everything possible that their company can do. And what happens is you're going to be telling so much that you won't recognize which of those key items that your client is actually very interested in or has the problem. So you should not be dominating the conversation. One, they always talk about you should listen twice as much as you speak. The challenge with that is you'll see in controlling emotions, just because you're listening doesn't mean you're hearing. And if you start talking to yourself on the fly, which is one of those limiting beliefs, it's going to affect you from listening to that person, even though you're not doing the talking. So it may look like you're listening twice as much, but you're not, because you're also talking to yourself. I need to make presentations. Well, why would that be the first belief you need to do? I need to make presentations. I need to make proposal and quotes. That's definitely a step in the process. What that is not is that shouldn't be the first thing you should be doing. You should be going through a sales process, identifying their challenges, putting an economic benefit on if those challenges are fixed, and how would it impact that person both professionally and personally. I need to tell my prospects about the company. Again, showing up and throwing up. Then I'm uncomfortable with certain aspects of selling. Everybody is. You got to get past that. You got to really realize that, hey, there are areas of life I don't want to do. Whether it's taking out the garbage or doing the landscaping or whatever it is you need to do. Sometimes you have to do what you need to do. The beauty about sales is that as you continue building your book, those aspects you're going to start enjoying because of the rewards you're going to be receiving. It's rude to ask a lot of questions. That's a challenge. You learn that from a young age when, as kids, we're always going, why? And then our parents will tell us, well, stop asking questions. That's rude. Well, that affects us when you enter the profession of sales. You should be able to ask questions. You need to ask questions. You need to keep asking questions so you could truly understand if that client or prospect is a good fit for you and your company. Are they a good fit for your products and services? And can you help them? Here's one that drives me crazy. If I think it over, eventually they'll buy from me. Okay? My experience is they think it over, they're not ready to buy. Move on. Now, you continue marketing to them, and hopefully, they'll come down the line, but don't put any more thought into someone that wants to think it over, because you just haven't demonstrated value, or they just don't want to make the change. Any lack of results is due to the economy, policies of the company, competition. Excuse me. Those are all results. Those are just things that we utilize to justify our lack of results. And it's easy to be able, we're taught inherent things to be able to just say, just to be able to justify ourselves. You know, someone calls and they want to talk to you about a product or service. You tell them I'm not here, tell them I left. These are things that everyone's going to put reasons on, but you need to be great. You need to find your way around them. If I invited you to my house and you hit a detour, would you just turn around and go home? Or would you continue with that detour to reach the destination? So that's where lack of excuse making or not taking responsibility affects us. Here's a sales manager's limiting beliefs. I don't need to manage my salespeople's behavior. In this situation, what they're saying is, you know what, here it is, here's your result, go feed for yourself. Well, you're not going to build an army like that, and you're not going to build a scalable practice. What you can't measure, you can't manage. And we've all heard that. I don't need to give recognition to my salespeople. That's where they get paid. That's why they get paid a motivation. That's why they get paid a commission or a bonus. Well, you know, if that's true, then we wouldn't have such a high number of sales professionals that we evaluate and assess that that are intrinsically motivated. They're motivated by recognition. They're motivated by incentives. They're motivated by looking good, being number one in front of their teams. Here's another one. When you think about the people who are coaching your sales team, I always ask, it begs the question, who's coaching the coach? So if you're being coached and your coach is not being coached, how effective do you feel they can be? I've been doing this for over 30 plus years, from an entrepreneur, from corporate America. I've always been in the field of sales, and I still get coached 2 or 3 times a week to make sure that I continuing perfecting my profession and my trade. Non-supportive buy cycle. All right. So what's a non-supportive buy cycle? Non-supportive buy cycle, that goes back to people who price shop, think it over. They have a hard time talking about money, or they think $1,000 is a lot of money without any basis of value on that. They want a comparison shop. This is a big one. This is probably the number one weakness that sabotages salespeople. And 72% of people in the profession of sales have this belief. And this, if they start working on it, start understanding how to buy on value, how to sell on value, how to move forward or decide not to move forward quickly, you could be effective 50% more of the time. So you need to understand that you need to look for value. You need to look for is the right economics. But if you do not, you're going to accept stalls, put offs. You're going to accept people saying they want a better price because that's the way you buy. Need for approval. This is a difficult one. And this is one that you have to keep working on and keep working on. This is one area I was a little weak in. You know, everyone has their percentages of how strong or how weak they are. Obviously, these are the 6 key. There are a lot more. The less you have, the fewer you have, the better. 68% of people in the profession of sales have a need for approval, which is they want to be liked. In some cases, they want to be loved. So they're uncomfortable asking a difficult question, or uncomfortable asking for business or referrals, or they're uncomfortable asking their client about other products and services that they offer because that client now may be upset with them, may take their business elsewhere. The funny part about that is, State Farm insurance agencies have known statistically that if they sell someone 3 insurance policies, they have higher than a 90% retention rate. So they know that they got to continue to offer additional products without worrying about the client liking or not liking them. You want your client to like you, but you want your client to like you because you solved their challenges, you eased their fears, you've helped them to be able to protect themselves against things that may in the future affect their lives. 35% more effective in your sales. Now, these aren't individual, these are cumulative. The next one is it becomes emotional. This goes back to what I was talking about. If you grew up in a family where you had to hurry up to get your statement in, this affects us because we don't effectively listen. We don't identify the follow-up questions because as they're talking, we want to make the next comment. We want to ask them a question. And that is never going to be good. If you ever spoken to someone that the second you finish speaking, the moment you finish speaking, they immediately started talking, then you're going to recognize that they weren't really listening to the last few words you were saying. So being an active listener helps you handle objections. It helps you handle getting to the root cause of people's challenges and problems. And as we help you continue working on this, 76% you will be more effective. Difficulty recovering from rejection. Well, this is an interesting one. They avoid contacts that would result in a no. They have difficulty adding opportunities to their pipeline. Okay, so they don't want to, they kind of want to leave things open with the hopes that it will close. So they're not adding good opportunities to their pipeline. One of the key pieces that we teach also, it's not just getting rejected on the phone, it's getting rejected at the end of a cycle where you're at proposal or negotiation time. Some people, you're not going to win all those deals just because you have X amount of proposals and quotes and it sounds like it's going to go through. Sometimes you're going to lose, and for whatever reason it may be, but you got to just keep moving on. That's why your pipeline needs to stay full at all times. So recovering from rejection is just not being able to handle it. It's being able to handle it when it counts the most and not dwell on it for hours or days and weeks in some cases. This one is easily get past. All you have to do is, like, I love Tim Grover's book. He says, next, move on to the next one, find a client that you can help, you can solve, and they're willing to invest in you. Difficulty discussing money. This is a challenge for most people because they're not used to, or we're not taught. It's impolite to talk about finances with someone. You shouldn't be asking how much somebody makes. You shouldn't be asked how much they should spend if you're going on vacation and can they afford this restaurant or not. When you're in sales, you need to understand whether that client can qualify. Do they have the ability to pay? If they don't have the ability to pay, is the problem that they have right now, is there areas where you can help them find money because the money that they're utilizing that is not giving them the result they want can be better spent with you and your products and services, and they should cut whatever that is, whether it's a people in an apartment, whether it's a system or technology they're using. But if it's not getting them the result, it makes no sense for them to continue spending that money where they could spend that money with you, where you could solve their problems and give them a return on their investment. Okay, so you have to be comfortable. And the other thing is just comfortable discussing with money. Some people are uncomfortable discussing a certain level of money. So if you're looking to hire or you're looking to work for someone and you're not accustomed to selling a $10,000, a $20,000, a $30,000, $1 million products and services, you're going to have a really difficult time succeeding in that position until you get out of your comfort zone and get developed and get coached. So you can then have no problem discussing money, no matter how much the money is. And at the end of the day, it's always about helping that client, solving their problems. And then if you can qualify them, you can consultatively sell them, asking them questions, deep-rooted questions so you can uncover their root issues. And then you qualify them, the close should come easy. So the money should never be an issue if you've been able to demonstrate the challenges, how much it's going to cost if they don't fix it, get everybody's buy-in. The close should not be relevant at that point. So how do I know all of this? Or you may be saying, well, where are you pulling these numbers from? Well, again, as a certified partner with Objective Management Group, we have access to data which is in excess of 1.8 million of assessments and sales evaluations of sales leaders. And those, we've been able to compile that data and we continue to data mine it So we're putting the science behind the data to come up and to be able to present this so people understand that what might be holding them back most of the time isn't their fault. They just got to decide if they're going to break the mold or not. Okay, we also know, based on all this data, what are the key 21 core competencies of the elite salespeople? What is it they have, right? Usually it'll be written goals. They have strong desires and motivation. Their willingness to be coached. They have vision boards. They set metrics. They set timelines. They know their numbers. They have a positioning statement. So you're going to see what those 21 core competencies are of the elite, and we're going to send them to you after this webinar. Now, sales training and coaching on the mindset and how to overcome them. We've been doing this for a very, very long time. I've been working with thousands and thousands of sales professionals, sales leaders, CEOs, entrepreneurs. And what we're finding is, the mindset of entrepreneur doesn't necessarily give them the right mindset to be a sales leader. And a sales professional doesn't necessarily give them the right mindset to be an entrepreneur. And then you have the rare few times where you have both. So how does sales coaching development and the improvement of adoption, how does this help? How does this enable services? Well, there's two things that need to be met. First, sales managers must be taught how to coach. So if you're a sales manager, you need to be taught how to coach. If you're not a sales manager, you need to find a coach or expect your sales leader to be coaching you. The second thing is you need to have a formal or dynamic coaching process, and it has to be systematic. That means it has to either be every other week, it has to be weekly, it could be monthly, but it should be no less than every other week. Me, I prefer every week to do a 30-minute coaching, and that's what we offer to our clients. Okay, a dynamic. Now, dynamic, formal is good, but dynamic's where it takes it a step further. It connects the coaching process to the enablement framework. So now managers are measured by how effective they are in their coaching. And that's key. You're going to be judging me or measuring my company and our sales development performance coaches on how well and how effective and what kind of impact we're having on coaching you and your sales team. Here's the sad part. Only 1/3 of sales organizations today have a formal or dynamic coaching process. That means 2/3, 67% of sales organizations don't have any formal or dynamic coaching process in place today. Most of it is ad hoc. And a lot of it, again, isn't the sales manager, the sales leader's fault. The buck stops with the CEO. It's just that nobody has the collateral, PowerPoints, the videos, the blended learning processes to be able to help them to be able to have a formalized and or dynamic coaching process. Now, based on CSO Insights, and I would go to csoinsights.com to get a lot of great information if you're a C-level or you just want to get to the ranks of the C-level ranks of sales profession. Dynamic coaching delivers the most significant performance impact, which is a 27.6% improvement in win rates. So how would you like to improve your closing rate by an additional 27.6%? I don't know about you, but most clients, when they see this and we talk to, that's what they're looking for. They want to increase their closing rate, which all starts with making sure they have the right mindset and their people have the right mindset and understand the mindset that they have. Okay, so now you're probably asking at this point, this is all great and dandy. So what are you going to do? You're going to just talk to me about my mind and that's it? No. The mind is where it starts, but then we're going to start coaching and developing you in many aspects of the tactics, the techniques, the processes that you need to be successful in sales. So there's 23 weeks of live coaching calls, and we're going to be doing those virtually, covering 42 classes. There will be all recorded sessions. They'll be posted in a private area where you'll be able to review them, and you can look at them and to go back and refresh the training and the coaching program. You're going to have a 65-page workbook that comes along with 16 videos covering each section. You're going to have a sales-specific evaluation so you can get a good understanding of where do you sit today from a mindset in the position that you're in. We have 24-hour service portal for questions. We're going to send you answers, voice recorded or videos. You have ongoing Ask the Expert. You can ask us anytime. We're available. We're here to make you succeed. We're going to provide you with a one-page sales plan, a strategic matrix. You'll have access to a Facebook community. And now here's a testimonial that I received from a professor who is now with Stetson University, but at the time I was doing lab lecturing with him at Nova Southeastern University. And just some key areas that this gentleman, who also worked in the corporate world and now is a professor and has his PhD, and he's the professor of marketing, but he focuses on developing, and he is now the professor of sales at the Centurion Sales Program at Stetson. And just real quick, gave me a nice testimonial about, you know, how we emphasize on real world application and problem solving. You know, he's stated that, you know, we have added tremendous value to his undergrad and his graduate professional selling and management students. And he states that, and, you know, I'm pretty happy to say, you know, you have to boast a little bit about yourself, but I need you to believe who I am, and what we can do for you is that he states that I have a unique gift to not only connect with students, but also to engage them such that their competition on the material is seen as enjoyable. I want to bring out the best in people. I want to challenge them. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about a collaborative method of teaching so you can become the best and reach your total potential as a sales professional and earn high six figures, of which I believe every professional salesperson should be doing. And if you're not, you know, you're probably in the wrong profession, or you need this course when you think you need it. Okay, what else you're going to get? You're going to get the research behind where we get the history of selling, the DNA, what's holding you back, why people buy, how to open meetings. You're going to do your positioning statement, your unique value proposition, positioning yourself as a trusted advisor, your unique value proposition. You can't imagine how many times we evaluate an entire sales force and every single one has a different unique value proposition. We're going to teach you how to differentiate yourself early during the STAR consultative interview. And we're going to teach you more beyond fact finding and using questions. We're going to teach you how to demonstrate. We're going to teach you how to manage. We're going to teach you how to close. I just wanted to give everything out there just so you understand that this starts with the mindset, but you will get the real deal professional consultative selling, coaching, development, and performance metrics that you need to reach the skies. Now, if all this development did was increase your sales over and above your current targets by, say, 37%, don't you think it would be worth it? How about if it increases your income by a minimum of 25% over your target income? Would this be worth it? Just on the little that we're showing you today to prevent yourself from not holding you back from asking questions, good, strong, surgical strike questions. If you were able to now get a strong emotional quotient, an EQ, that increases your awareness of what beliefs are holding you back from becoming that in the top 7% of individual earners in the entire United States, would this be worth it? But let me show you what I'm going to give you. And we'll start off with a nice free class. I'll make it super simple. Okay. You're going to get the 23 weeks, all inclusive of what I stated above. Okay. You'll have all the recorded sessions for you to review at your convenience. That's a value of $2,388. So it wouldn't take much for you to increase your income and or your sales to be able to achieve that investment. Next you're going to get is, in addition to that, a 65-page workbook with videos covering each section. And those videos are all accessible by any mobile device, your computer, your laptop, your desktop, and you're able to work anywhere you want at any time that you want other than our coaching sessions. So you're able to consistently listen and obtain information. They say it takes at least 6 times of repetition to retain 67% of the information you're taught. Now that's a value of $999, which now puts it at $3,387. Still not a lot to take for an increase. The last we're going to throw in is a Sales Mind CD. And what that's going to help, it's going to give you positive affirmations that's all around the limiting beliefs to help you break those belief systems so you can continue forging forward to increase your professionalism, to increase your earnings, to increase your recognition, to increase your ability to climb the corporate ladder. And that's $99. So the total value is going to be about $3,486. So we've stated before everything that would cost. And what I'm doing, because the people that registered today, it's very important for me to change the profession of selling in the manner that we do in the corporate world. Now I want to do it on the personal, one-to-one group session of people who want to be the elite. Okay, so you're going to say, what do you do now? Well, let's get started. Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm going to give it for you for. We're not going to give it to you for the $3,400 and something, which it normally goes for. You know, I love the phrase, don't talk about it, be about it. And I think this came from Confucius. A delay is the deadliest form of denial. So if you delay, you're denying the things that you want out of life and how we can help you. And the beauty about all this is we offer 100% money back guarantee, no questions asked. You can cancel this at any time. We're going to give you there's our money back guarantee. You can cancel any time, no questions asked, and you can get started today just for $147 a month. And we're going to limit each class to about 20 people for our sales performance coaches, and at $147 per class. Do you really believe that we're not going to be able to take you to the stars with the education, with the programs, with we're probably talking over 40, 50, 60 videos, 200 pages of workbooks. You got live coaching from a sales performance coach who's lectured at universities, who's built 5 companies, who has worked in corporate America. So we're going to be able to give you as much of the expertise and everything that we have to offer. Now, you may say, how are you going to get started today? Well, you're going to be receiving an email shortly on this recording, and then we are also going to send you how to get started. All you have to do is log in, put in your information. We ask that you put in your credit card, safe and secure, and we will not charge you the first month. We will set up the time frames, and then after the first month, if you're happy, then we begin charging you. And any time from there, you can cancel it. And you know what? You can keep the workbook, you can keep the CD, and then we can move along. We can move from there. You won't have access to the videos, but you still have access to the elite of the private Facebook group, and we're always here to help you. So I hope this helps you today. We're looking forward. We're seeing some people now signing up. And I guess they got that email that we had just sent out. Be expecting that email. Greatness is being world-class. Sell to greatness. Thank you.